Coming to you live from Music City, USA, it's Nashville Entertainment Weekly. I'm Chris Burks, along with your hosts, TJ Cates and Jill Santibanez, who are in the invitation-only studio high atop the city, overlooking everything that is Nashville Entertainment.
Got your swagger. No, he ain't got that little clip in his chin. He ain't no way better, 'cause you're the baddest country boy, sweetest sin.
You're watching
Hey everybody,
Gearz.
this is TJ Cates with Nashville Entertainment Weekly. I'm here with
Jill Santibanez and
look who we have.
Stacey David.
pretty awesome.
If you've watched TV for the past 15, 16, 17 years and you want to learn about cars, this is the guy, man. I can't believe we're sitting here with you.
Oh, it's great.
There's so many things to talk about.
Oh, yeah, and you're a car guy. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
It's amazing
He
you
was
just
so
call me a
excited
car
about this
guy.
interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've taught my son, my nephews, everything I know.
Yeah.
Being raised as a butcher, you know, they also teach you how to work on cars. But I was born in an era where you could actually open the hood and you see an engine and you can, the water filter, she won't let me change oil in the car, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And I
I
told her
take
I've
him
done
to
this since I
a
was
dealership.
14.
He's like, why do you do that? I'm like,
But your stuff, the thing I like about your show is it's not like too much. It's not too many facts.
Yeah.
Is that something you chose to do to make it real hands-on?
You know, the thing is, I realize that a lot of kids now, a lot of people don't have a father figure. So they are not learning to work on cars like we did. They're not learning how to hunt like we used to.
right.
They don't know how to tie knots. They don't know how to do the little skills that guys need to know how to do. And so that was kind of the purpose of that. But my shows have always been customizing shows.
Yeah.
So we take something stock
Yeah.
and make it cool.
You put like your artistic qualities.
Oh yeah, you make it faster, louder, bigger, you know, whatever.
Kind of like this guitar that's back
Yes.
behind me. This is a prime example. Now we're going to come into your music tie-in
Yeah.
earlier, but tell us a little bit about this guitar, and we'll come back to it later.
Well, that came into existence. I did a lot with Gibson, and I was doing a 32 Roadster, and I said I got to do a 335 and do a cool rockabilly guitar.
Right.
And it's got to be 335, and they're like, great. And I said I want to put an exhaust pipe out the side of it, and they're
That's so
like,
funny.
we can't do that. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, just give me the guitar
It's like
and I'll
one of
do
a
it.
kind. Yeah.
So they gave me this 335. Now, listen, when I cut that thing apart, there was a little bit of hesitation because it's a 335.
and you said the core inside is wood.
Oh, yeah, there's a solid block of wood down the center of a 335.
That's
so
amazing.
that's that old Les Paul deal.
I'm glad that you knew that.
Oh, yeah.
And then you built them up. We built the exhaust system on it.
I built the
you-
exhaust.
And this is something that you do that I don't know that everybody knows. Is you actually tie in the guitar with cars that you redo.
Yeah, for the big projects that we do, I don't do it for every project, but for the big ones that are big signature vehicles like Copperhead and Crazy Horse and the Rat Roaster and Sergeant Rock, we'll do a special guitar with them. And ideally, it's something that the people can go out and buy one.
Now,
Very
the,
cool.
the Copperhead that you rebuilt, I like that. We just watched that segment
Yeah.
recently. Tell me a little bit about this. Is that a 68, 69, 70?
It was a
Correct.
67 Chevy, and the 67 through 72 Chevy is arguably the most popular Chevy pickup ever. I mean, everybody loves those things.
My
a
dad had
little
one.
loud,
It
it's
was
like
a
a
golden
car,
one.
yeah.
No, they're awesome. And I started to do one on the show, and at that time, Chevrolet was coming out with a 572 crate engine, 640 horsepower.
That's insane.
Wow.
So I call up the guys at Chevy, and I said, hey, I want a 502 for the Copperhead project. And they said, well, can we interest you in the 672? And I was like, what is that? And so it worked out. I got the very first one in existence before Leno got his.
Nice.
But it was
You beat Jay Leno. To
yeah.
the
But
punch.
the thing is, there's
Sorry,
a
Jay. I
there's
know
a
he watches our
snafu
show.
there.
Porsches
Because
and
Keith Urban and Jay Leno watch our show a lot.
all the time.
the thing is, though, mine was pre-production. Jay got the first production one with
There
all
you
the
go.
serial numbers and everything on it. So he got that, but I got the very first one that ever came out of the door. Flywheel was on backwards, and I had the wrong intake manifold. It
no.
came right from Roush, right
Wow.
from
Are
testing.
you serious?
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Flywheels are very important
Oh yes.
because you can tear up the teeth on it.
Oh yeah.
I learned
yeah.
that on an 82 Jeep recently. Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta have it exactly right. You gotta have your bolts exactly right. So, when you get cars like that, is it funny when you start tearing them down that you see way people maybe patched them together?
Oh yeah, that's and we try to show some of that on the show. We we don't ever want the show to be something like, look what this moron
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Right.
You
It's a
know,
fine
because
line.
that can turn into a real mess, turn into TMZ.
Yeah. We don't
He
speak
said,
of
she said.
TMZ.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we do want to reveal, the correct way to do things, because
great.
even if you're doing a rat rod or something that looks beat up, you still want it to be safe, because you
Of
can
course.
get killed with this stuff.
Yeah, especially
And-
Copperhead, man. That thing
Oh,
was
yeah.
fast.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of educational what you're doing, so you want kids to be able to do this too.
Yeah, and I try to tell guys, it's, they're like, well, you can't have too much horsepower. It's like, just go on YouTube and look at Ultimate Fail Automotive, and you watch these guys lose control of their
Yeah.
cars leaving car shows,
Yeah.
because they're all testosteroned up and they
Yeah.
can't control their
Excited.
Corvette.
Yeah.
So it's like, get out there, build a car, and
They go to
learn to
Barrett
drive it.
Jackson and
Oh,
spend
yeah.
$100,000 on something.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going to drive this home.
And I can handle it because I'm a guy.
My wife has
It's
a really
like-
fast Prius, and I think it's going to handle exactly the same.
So-
You're driving a Prius?
No, it was just
I was
a
gonna
joke.
say.
No,
I was gonna say. Don't. No.
That's so funny. Now that Copperhead,
Yeah.
what kind of modifications did you do on it? Because it didn't look like that crazy of a truck. to you,
No,
right?
I didn't do much. Matter of fact, I kept it pretty stock.
The body style is really nice.
Yeah, because,
Yeah.
and the thing is with that one, what can you do to them? They're
Yeah.
so nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
I shaved the drip rail off of the roof, smoothed it down a little bit, got rid of some of the seam lines. That's about it. You just don't need a lot with that. There's some body styles.
I feel like you did something with the suspension or the handling or something.
Oh,
because
yeah,
When
yeah.
you took it out on the road and
You
you
were
did
racing it too?
Yeah, it was lowered. I mean,
legally racing.
yeah, it was,
Legally.
but it wasn't slammed.
Yeah.
You can drop things too low to where they look odd.
Yeah.
And so this had just a nice drop. I believe it was like a 4 or 6 drop or something. It just looked really nice.
It looked great, man. I appreciate you doing that
Yeah.
for me. And like I said, I rebuilt a 73 Scout, an 82 Jeep. So I've had a lot of old trucks, and I think it's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
fun to get them, even at my limited knowledge, that I can take things apart and put them back together.
Yeah.
But like you said, teaching kids how to do that, and it's so important, man. Get off your
So
iPad,
important.
get to
Oh,
the
yeah.
garage, and teach them how to change the flat. Teach them how to change the oil.
And the thing is, part of that goes to the guys that, the rich older guys,
Mm-hmm.
because they're sitting there at a car show like a Barrett Jackson, and they've got this 65 GTO, and they're like, don't touch it, don't even breathe on it. Yeah, it's like Nigel.
I will
It's
touch
like,
it all day long.
Let's
man.
go to
So
11,
funny.
don't even touch it. It's
Yeah.
like, come on, man. Let the kid get in it, touch it better. Yeah, let him drive it.
Let him drive it.
Because then they'll want it. Because one of these days, that guy's going to be gone, and if nobody wants that car,
I know.
And
you
it
have
happens.
to have that appreciation
Yeah.
for it, because when
Listen.
you build it, you appreciate it too.
I saw it happen with guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was a time like in the 80s and 90s where all the good guitars were going to Japan and everything, the 59 Les Pauls, and they got priced out
Right.
to where now guys just buy a new one.
Yeah.
We'd all like to have a 59 Les Paul, but
You'd like to have something like that.
And
It's
you
just-
just
yeah.
you just redid one. It was in the, you said that, what was it, the flood here in 2010?
yeah, that Paul Reed
You just
Smith.
yeah.
And part of the thing, see, that goes with the 67 Mercury Cougar. And that car was lady owned. She
That's
bought
a
it in
great car,
67.
man.
It was her graduation present in 67.
Nice.
That's so cool.
She was from California,
Sweet.
and she had it up until just a couple of years ago and moved to West Virginia, I believe. And I got it off eBay. So it was a really solid
So
car.
you do actually go and buy, you actually
Oh,
shop
yeah.
just like we do.
Oh, yeah, I'm on eBay all the time.
Oh, that's cool. What about Craigslist? Let's talk about Craigslist.
I like Craigslist, actually. Craigslist, I've had a lot of good luck finding things. Do you not like Craigslist?
No, I love
or you- yeah.
Craigslist. I do.
So a little
You can find
safer,
anything
I
on
think.
Craigslist.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
great.
always searching it, and she doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't really need a car, but I
Yeah.
like to go to Craigslist and look at the cars. I like to go to eBay.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I always had an Auto Trader. Every guy in school.
Oh
we
yeah,
built it. We all had
circling
Auto
the
Trader.
stuff you're never gonna
Circling
call
it.
on it.
Yeah.
It's like,
But
if
I
I only had
would've
the
known-
money, I'd call on that Corvette.
I would love to buy an old GTO, and my
yeah.
uncles up in Chicago had Chevelles, and they had all these old muscle cars. I'd love to have one back then and kept it. Well, we're going to come back in a minute because we could talk forever, man.
Yeah.
We're going to come back in a minute, talk about your production, that you're actually shooting a national television show here in Nashville, Tennessee, in White House, actually.
And talk about your upcoming film, because you're working on something too.
Ah, yes.
It's got lots of stuff. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to come back in a minute with Stacey David.
The 515 Studio is a spacious, fully functional, state-of-the-art recording studio located in the township of Berry Hill in Nashville, Tennessee. We've been serving songwriters and recording artists worldwide since 2002. Our creative goal is to continue to provide the highest quality and most competitive music products and services for our clients. Our business ideal is to always treat others with the love, respect, and dignity we feel all persons deserve. we faithfully continue our daily resolve of providing our clientele great music at fair prices with honesty and integrity.
Thank you for coming to our house today, and we didn't even think that we'd be able to get an appointment with you. You're so busy.
Yes, I am. So you ready for your pedicure today, girlfriend?
I'm ready, and Toes on the Go, I know that you guys have been around 23 years.
That's correct.
Tell me about that.
I started Toes on the Go over 15 years ago going mobile. I had a client that had pancreatic cancer.
Wow.
And she was bedridden. And so her husband called me and asked me, could I come over and give her a manicure and a pedicure? And I was like, sure. And from that point on, I just went mobile.
Wedding parties, you go to people's offices, homes.
Correct.
Like
Christmas
today.
parties, companies parties.
We found you on social media. Now, you love Facebook. I know you're all over the place, but where's the best way so we can reach you, so we can tell everybody where to go?
In order to make an appointment for me to come to your office or home, you can reach me at 615-886-8755. And I will come and love on your feet in the privacy and convenience of your own home or your office.
Hey, we're back, and now we're going behind the scenes. Because obviously we couldn't do a show like this without a crew running the lights and the camera and the sound while I'm building and driving the cars. And my two main guys are Mark Ramey and Scott Van Orden, and of course, Domino.
Hey everybody, we're back. We took about a 15-minute break just to let y'all know behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Dude, this is such a cool situation going on here. We hadn't even gotten into the music yet. We've got, who do we have over here?
Mark Ramey.
And we met you a couple months ago. Yeah. You told me who you were working with, and I was pretty blown away. We're excited that y'all actually came to our
thank you for putting this
studio.
together for us.
We received about 10 invitations to go to their place. It's 40,000 square feet, White House, Tennessee. Just what is it, north of Nashville?
Just north of Nashville, just beyond the city limits, and for a reason.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
We did that so we don't get run by the cops all the time.
Well,
that's funny.
And you have a tank out there, is what I understand.
Well, it's
You're
a
working on it
snowcat. I got a
today.
vintage snowcat.
Snowcat.
Yeah, I've had some
we had
little
so much
personnel
snow in
characters.
Nashville.
Oh yeah, that's what my wife said. That's funny. What you got a snowcat for? I'm like,
You
it's,
never know,
it's got
though.
tracks on it.
Yeah. Now, do you have a guitar to match the snowcat?
No, I don't think. I haven't decided if I'm going to make the snowcat a major project. If I do, there'll be a guitar that goes with it.
There you go.
And that's going to be a challenge. What would match that?
Maybe a
I don't know.
banjo. Can you go with the banjo?
A
this
banjo?
time?
Oh,
That's white.
yeah.
No banjo. Okay, no to the banjo.
That's funny.
We're just
yeah.
coming up with ideas
Just
here.
coming up with
go
ideas.
it.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
12
Just
string.
brainstorming.
You and
Yeah,
Mark
just,
you've known each other for like 16 years. You guys have been working
Yeah,
together.
we worked on a show called Trucks.
Loved
Nice.
it.
And
Great show.
and then Mark, he's been working with us there at Gearz, 7 years?
Yeah,
Something like
Yeah, it's
that.
been on
7
for a
years, yeah.
while.
So what's the
Very
difference
cool.
for people then? What's the difference between the shows for you?
Well, the biggest thing, first of all, with Gearz is we own it.
Good for you.
And
Great.
we're not working for somebody else. So if I want to do something with Ted Nugent, if I want to do something with you guys, we do it.
Nice.
Did you wait a minute? Wait, I just want to clear up. Did you just put me and Ted Nugent in the same?
You're kind of the same
thing?
sort of
That's
guy,
so
you
cool,
know?
man! I'm so excited. That's awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
he's a cool guy. He's a
He
cool guy.
hunts,
Oh,
which I
yeah.
like that he does, and he's very outspoken, and he
Yeah.
says what he wants, says what he feels, but he
Yeah.
appreciates what you do. That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Now you worked on the guitar together, or there's some kind of tie-in with the music. Tell me what that was.
With who?
Ted Nugent.
Oh, we did something with his Bronco. He
Okay.
had that zebra Bronco,
Yeah.
and we did some work on that for him.
Have you ever been to his farm? He's in what, Alabama, Georgia?
No, he's got one in Michigan. He's got one in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
a little farther.
oh yeah, so we just never, logistics kind of thing. So sometimes you miss them, sometimes you get them. So we try to jump on everything we can.
The thing about Nashville is we have such big names that come through Nashville, and with what you're doing, people know who you are before you even get there. So it's amazing and you kind of forget when we're in Nashville that you're seeing these famous people and you want to make a connection, but you
yeah.
want to be cool about it. You don't want to
Right.
just
Oh,
like,
In
oh
their
my
face.
God. Yeah.
yeah.
Then we go back home to Mississippi, and I said there's zero chance of seeing anybody famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we go back home, and it's kind of cool because you're
But
kind of
Memphis
relaxed.
is like right next door.
Yeah,
So
Memphis
Yeah.
is next door.
Oh yeah.
We don't see a lot of Justin Timberlake running the streets anymore. I did used to
It'd be
see,
cool if we did though.
when I was a kid, I did used to see Elvis riding his go-kart around the circle. We'd go
Really?
home every night, swear to God.
Nice.
It's really cool.
Graceland.
Wow.
So there's always a tie-in. So let's talk about what you guys are doing together, some of the projects that you have coming up.
Well, we've got the season, obviously, that we're shooting.
Season 10.
Mm-hmm.
So exciting.
And, one of the things that's unique about what we do, I don't know if you've watched the show much, but we use a jib a lot. Mark's one of the best jib operators I've ever seen.
Very cool.
Too kind.
And, well, the thing is, it makes it different. You know
Yeah.
how cool a jib shot
Oh
is.
yeah.
And so that, we try to approach the show like you would approach a film, which is kind of hard on a television show.
Yeah.
Because it's like, let's get it
you
done.
even said, I want to show some of these, you said with this car, you can almost, when you're in, and you have like a live action, like you can see this car and you can walk right underneath it. Like it's so high up. So you would have to use a jib to get on top of it, get around it.
To get some of those good shots, yeah.
Do you get some of the engine shots? Because we talked about the old classic cars are bigger and they give you more room to hang over the fender well. Do you get in there easier with the jib instead of hanging? Because I've seen some cool pictures of you where you're right there with them.
Oh yeah.
Video on that. So you can get a little bit creative with the jib shots.
Right up over.
Or is it just more engaging for your show to swing around and come down?
Well, the size of our studio, like with the jib, I can get a move that, you can carry 270 degrees of it. You can really change the perspective of what you're seeing and showcase what a large room it is.
Now you can't see it right now. I'm going to share some pictures, but we have a big camera over here. And tell me about this camera. What you're doing with this?
Well, that's our main shooting camera. And a lot of people look at that and go, that's old school. That's Mario. It's 40 pounds, man. So his right side is really strong.
Yeah.
But, we've always shot. They were the first high-def cameras in Nashville when they first came out. And when I first started doing Gearz, it was right at the transition of standard def and high def. And it was like I could get standard def cameras for like nothing, or I can spend a lot of really serious money and get this high def stuff. And at that point, even we were on ESPN2, they didn't even require high def.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were still delivering in standard def.
Right.
But we went ahead and went with the high def stuff. I'm glad we did. These have lasted us 10 years. Oh,
Show
yeah.
the camera.
That little camera there, though, that looks really nice. Mark's looking at that going, oh, please, get it on.
We actually
Very
shoot
cool.
1080p and has 2 XLR inputs.
Nice.
So we actually have a light on top. We can do so many things with that camera. But
And this is Jonathan.
And he works with you guys on the show too?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the crew of 3 of us.
Yep.
Nice.
we like a smaller crew. Now, I've worked on a lot of film sets. I worked for HBO and History Channel and True TV. And True TV had a small crew, which I kind of enjoyed. But I think the smaller, as long as you got guys that are really in tune with each other,
Work hard.
like I know that you are, it's so much easier. You almost don't have to finish your sentence. Jill and I can work together great because we understand each other.
Yeah, and we were best friends for a while too, so that worked.
I'll tell you what, that's really important.
You always have to bring that part up into
both
We
the
were. We
both
had a
of
good
these
working
guys,
relationship.
yeah.
best friends.
Yeah.
Both of these guys are really into it, and they're really talented in both what they do. Jonathan's got a really big film background too,
Nice.
and so we all understand it. We don't have somebody that's sitting there going, oh, let's do this like a reality look, or let's do this like that. We're all kind of film guys.
Like super commercialized.
Yeah, so it's like, this is the vibe that we want. This is the way we want this to look. And it makes it come together really easy. Our editor's the same way. He kind of knows what we want.
Let's talk about some of the stuff that you sell. So this right here, tell us about this.
Well, this was a model kit that we did with Revell a few years ago. I don't know if they're still doing it now. You can get them on eBay,
Nice.
Craigslist.
There you go.
Why does everybody call me Craigslist?
But this was a 32 Roadster that we did on the show. This was about a 3 or 4 year buildup. And I started with nothing. I started with a metal body from Brookville Roadsters. And it basically was just to show how to build something like that. And we were real fortunate Revell decided to do a model kit out of it. That was really cool.
That's
That
so
is
neat.
cool.
And they were about to create a figurine of you, and you said no.
Yeah, they said, well, we want to add a little something extra. And they said, why don't we do a little figure of you standing by it? And it's like,
Yeah.
listen, man, growing up, I remember that was always so dorky when you had the guy.
When you
So
had
you cut the
the-
guy's head off and you put it on, So I was like, no, let's not do me. Let's do the guitar.
But when you had action figures, who was your hero?
Well, Evel Knievel.
There you go.
Oh.
You know what I have? I remember the big water challenge.
Then Stretch Armstrong. You had to
Stretch
Stretch
Armstrong was
Armstrong.
cool. Aquaman was my deal. But actually, to this day, my grandfather worked in Chicago. He sent me in the early 70s a mini bike he hand built. And he sent me an Evel Knievel helmet. And everybody now thinks it's Captain America.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. And he
but
still
it's really
has it.
funny, when they did the water challenge, what was it, the Ice Bucket
Ice Bucket
Challenge?
Oh, that's my challenge.
I got it in my backyard and I got a pool filled up with water, filled up with ice. I built a ramp. I caught it on fire with lighter fluid. I put on my Evel Knievel helmet and I ran. I
And
tried
somebody
to jump
filmed
and
it.
landed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
you got,
So funny.
yeah.
It's
I
on
wish I would
YouTube.
have had it, but I still have
Oh,
that
yeah.
thing to this day.
Yeah, I was there when he jumped the canyon.
Were you really Snake River?
I was
Oh my
there. So I'm from
gosh.
Idaho. I was born in
That's a
Idaho.
cool time. I remember
really
that
neat.
Saturday.
Oh,
I
yeah?
think I saw you, man. Were you wearing like a red hat? There?
No, but I almost had a chance to meet him. I had a whole
Oh, wow.
adventure there because we were in the press area. And I I wanted, listen, Evel Knievel's it, man. To a
Yeah,
little
he
kid,
is.
we're jumping our bicycles over everything.
No pay-per-view, just
Oh
Saturday
yeah, he
afternoon.
comes walking by, and all these reporters went over there, and he
Yeah.
went up and he addressed the crowd on this platform. And I looked at my mom and I said, "Oh man, I just wanted to meet Evel Knievel so bad." She goes, "Well, he's got to come down those stairs.
Yeah.
So if
At
you
some
stand
point.
right at the bottom of those
Yeah.
stairs, you'll meet him." So there I am. I'm standing at the bottom of the stairs. It's about 5 steps.
Yeah.
He finishes talking. He comes over at the top of the stairs. We catch eye contact, and my little hand is out there, you know.
Oh,
And he starts down those stairs, and this swarm of reporters
Oh, you know it.
just
oh no.
knocked me down. And I've hated reporters ever since.
People are crazy.
And the thing is, and I was so upset because I was like, I couldn't understand why Evel Knievel, who was my hero,
Yeah.
who had caught eye contact with me, would not have
Acknowledged.
acknowledged that.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, if I'm ever in a situation where anybody ever wants my autograph or to shake hands with me,
Right.
I will never let that person get shoved aside.
Right. And that kind of
And
reminds
I've never
me.
forgotten that.
I've been to like shows, like small concert venues, and if anybody gets knocked down, some musicians will actually say, "Hey, pick up that kid." You
Yeah.
know, like it's
Yeah.
really cool to do that, to pay attention to your fans.
I met Lou Ferrigno when he was doing The Incredible Hulk. He came to Memphis, and dude, that was so exciting.
Oh, yeah. The dude was huge.
So
It's like
neat.
he's gigantic. I
Yeah.
didn't know that he had a speech impediment.
Oh, yeah?
I was trying to talk to him. He was trying not to talk to me a lot, but then he did. And I told him I lift weights. I'm like 12. And I
Yeah.
want to tell him all these things that I was doing. So it was really cool.
Oh,
that's
that's-
really awesome that you still
yeah.
got to be that close to Evel Knievel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Made eye
yeah.
contact.
Yeah, I've always wanted to, one of these days, meet up with Robbie because
Yeah.
he was, I think, a little bit older than me, and just talk about that day, because that was quite an experience.
Yeah.
Because we were really young, but
I'm gonna have to fill Jill in later what we're talking about.
oh yeah, that was a big
Well,
deal.
they've got that great documentary, so you can
Yeah.
watch that.
Okay, that
Nice.
sounds cool. Well, man, I appreciate y'all coming in. Let's
Oh.
let's talk about some of these things that you have coming up, your upcoming shows, where people can find you, where they can find your shows, and the great thing that you're filming around Nashville for a national show. You're gonna be a little bit inspirational at this point.
Okay. Well, we're finishing up season 10. We're show 7 now.
Yes, shooting 7.
So we shoot everything here in Nashville. About 3 times a year, we have an open house where we let people come into the shop, and I'll
Very
actually
cool.
do a personal tour with them, talk about behind the scenes, talk about the projects. That was always, years ago, we would send vehicles that were finished to shows, and people would look at them and go, "Oh, that's great." But they're like, "We really would kind of like to see them as you built them."
Right.
So we started sending vehicles that were unfinished to shows. I still had my fingerprints on them.
Yeah.
You guys were like, "Oh, I saw you do that weld, and I saw you
That's
do all that."
funny.
And it was like, that's how I would have been.
Well, the real
Yeah.
guys want to see the actual, everybody wants to see
Yeah.
the Bear Jacksons when they're finished, but I kind of like to see the unfinished.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we do. We kind of show them behind the scenes, kind of the Wizard of Oz thing. We pull the curtain back and
Yeah.
let them see what goes on. And like I said, we've got this film project that we're trying to get funding on right now. It's called The Last Rock and Roll Show, and it's a historical fiction about, it takes place the day Buddy Holly died, and it's about 2 kids that go to the show with a recorder and record the show.
How fun.
And it's what happens after the fact.
And the recorder is just audio.
Oh yeah, it's just an audio recorder. So they got this,
But it would be the last.
It's the last
recording of
live
the
recording.
Right.
show.
of
yeah.
Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, and Buddy
Well,
Holly.
like the Academy Awards, is it based on a true story?
It
It could be.
here's the thing. It's historical fiction. Like I kind of compare it to the Forrest Gump deal because they
Right.
took historical things that are true
Yeah.
Kind of
and they've woven some fantasy into it.
Well, you can do that.
So where you're kind of like, did that really happen?
Right.
And then some of that stuff. And we're Danny White, who used to have 16-ton studios here in town. He's out now in L.A. We're doing the soundtrack for it,
That's cool.
and we're going to try to use as much Nashville musicians and actors
Local
and stuff
talent.
as
Good
possible.
for you, man.
Because we
Very
have the
cool.
talent here.
There's so much talent in Nashville. That's why we're so excited to do that. And we're excited to work with y'all because y'all are actually going to be inspirational to people that you can do national things out of a city
Oh,
like
yeah.
Nashville. And
Well,
you're a
and-
television show, and the only television show in town is not the Nashville series.
Yeah.
Right.
Which we all
Yeah.
still going to
There's
like
us
it.
and them, of course. We're both
We have a
on
weekly
this.
television show. Y'all have a national show that comes on in your
Yeah.
12th season?
10th season.
10th season?
Mhm.
We're on 12th episode. That's
Yeah.
why I got confused. It's the same
Oh
thing.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the same
10
thing.
seasons,
10,
12
well, yeah,
episodes.
whatever.
We had to actually redo the odometer to the trip odometer. Went back to 0 and we took it to television.
Yeah.
Because I really lost count. We did so many shows in
Yeah.
the past couple of years.
When we started doing this, though, we had some guys from LA. We had a guy that worked on all these Kevin Costner films and everything. And he's like, yeah, we want to do this, and we want 70% of everything.
You got to keep control, man.
Oh,
And it's like, no, we're not going to do that. The guy we have that's going to direct it is Guy Norman B., who does a lot of, Supernatural,
Oh, that's great.
Arrow, a bunch of that stuff. He's really a huge car guy.
Yeah.
And that's really important. It's like, this is a film about vintage rock and roll and vintage hot rods. So you got to have car guys involved. You got to have the right
It's a match
music
made in
people.
heaven. Or Nashville.
Yeah, and all the car guys, we're telling people like through our website, it's like, listen, if you've got a car, let us know what you've got because we'll use your car in the film.
Right, we could
So it's a period
get it
film.
in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It takes place in
You
1959.
know something that I want you to
Sweet.
watch out for, and you can do what you want to do because it's your movie.
Yeah.
Well, every time, because when I worked on HBO, we did a period film based around the Vietnam era,
Yeah.
and every car that we used, we call them picture cars, lined up and down the street. They were all like the shiniest. Not everybody had a brand new.
They got to be,
in
yeah,
the
they got to be beaters.
Let's throw
Yeah.
a clunker in there every once in a while.
Oh, there
you know?
will be. Oh, yes.
Okay, good.
And a snowcat.
Okay, that's okay. For no
And
apparent
sometimes,
reason.
sometimes like their wardrobe looks awesome, but then their shoes are like not dated, and you're just like,
Yeah.
you're getting. fake
Maybe I
shots.
can ride in the snowcat with my Evel Knievel helmet.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll come out and say something nice to the kid.
That's so funny.
All right, well, thanks for coming in, man. We really enjoyed it. I could talk to you
Oh,
all
thank
night.
you,
Yeah,
man.
we're gonna have to stop by your studio
Yeah,
soon in White
please
House.
come
and
out.
check it
Please
out.
come out.
Thanks for having us.
Well, thanks for tuning in to Nashville Entertainment Weekly. I'm TJ Cates.
Jill Santibanez.
Stacey David.
Mark Ramey.
All right, thanks for tuning in, y'all. This is a great show. This is TJ Cates. I'm here with my good friend, William Bo Striplin. What are we doing out here, man? It's your
Doing loans, getting people in houses. Again, just want to reiterate, Affordable Lending Group, we're customer oriented. We treat all our clients with respect. I answer all phone calls. Even the people that I can't get approved, if they answer, I got 2 questions to ask them. Have you filed bankruptcy in the past 2 years? If the answer is no, I can get you a house. If you've had a foreclosure in the last 3 years, the answer is no, I can get you a house.
That's amazing.
No matter what your credit type
It's easy.
is, usually within 90 days, I can get you done if you answer no to those 2 questions. So,
Right.
I'm a big believer. Treat people with respect, call them back. If you can't help them, again, treat everybody.
He will call you back. He will email you back, and he will meet with you. So call Bo, get a mortgage. Good friend of mine. I've known him about 20 years. We've done lots of mortgages stuff back and forth, and he's reliable. He's here, answers the phone. Close it out, Bo.
901-870-5727. Give me a call. Any questions? We don't have any upfront fees. My phone line's always open. If I don't answer, I definitely will call you back.
Hi, I'm Kel Williams. I'm owner of Exit Realty Elite, and I live downtown and I work downtown, and I'd really like to help you. Whether you're looking for a property to live in for yourself, an investment property, maybe a commercial property, or a lot just to build on. You want to live in Greenbrier, East Nashville, downtown, Brentwood, or Manchester, I can take care of that for you. Go to kelwilliams.com. You can search properties there. It'll tell you if the property already has a contract on it, because a lot of people look at properties online and someone's already got those properties. If you go to my site, it's updated every 5 minutes and it tells you whether or not that property has a contract already. So it's really important in today's market to jump on a property when you see it, because in a couple of days, if it's priced right, it's gone. So call me, Kel Williams, or go to my website, kelwilliams.com, and I'll help you find the property for you. Thanks.